Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel, where we explore the most fascinating stories from around the globe. Today we're journeying to the sun-drenched savannas of East Africa to uncover a timeless tale about wit, wisdom, and the surprising power of the small. This is the story of the hare and the lion. In a vast and vibrant land teeming with life, there lived a lion. He was not just any lion. He was the king of all beasts, magnificent and mighty. His roar could shake the leaves from the baobab trees, and his presence commanded respect and, more often, fear. This lion was strong, proud, and, unfortunately, quite lazy. He believed that his royal status meant he shouldn't have to hunt for his food. Why should a king exert himself? So he summoned all the animals to a grand meeting under the shade of a giant acacia tree. "Listen to me, my subjects," he roared, his voice echoing across the plains. "From this day forward, I will no longer hunt. It is beneath my dignity. Instead, you will bring me one animal each day to satisfy my hunger. If you fail, I will unleash my fury and hunt you all down, one by one, without mercy." A terrified silence fell over the crowd. The zebra shuffled nervously, the antelope's ears twitched, and even the mighty elephant seemed uneasy. They knew the lion was serious. To avoid a massacre, they had no choice but to agree to his cruel demand. They drew lots, and each day a different unfortunate creature would say its tearful goodbyes and present itself to the lion as his meal. A shadow of sadness fell over the once joyful animal kingdom. This somber routine continued for many weeks. The animals lived in constant dread, their days filled with anxiety, wondering when their turn would come. One fateful morning, the lot fell to the smallest of them all, the hare. When the other animals saw the result, they sighed in pity. "Poor little hare," whispered the giraffe. "He won't even make a decent mouthful for the king." But this hare was no ordinary creature. He was known far and wide for his sharp mind and clever tricks. While his body was small, his courage and intellect were immense. As he slowly made his way toward the lion's den, he wasn't trembling with fear. Instead, his mind was racing, weaving a plan, a clever and daring strategy to save not just himself, but everyone. He took his time, nibbling on a sweet bit of grass here, admiring a flower there. He was deliberately, purposefully, late by the time the hare arrived at the lion's den. The sun was high in the sky, and the king's stomach was rumbling like distant thunder. The lion was pacing back and forth, his tail lashing in fury. "You?" he bellowed, his eyes blazing with anger. "You insignificant little morsel. You dare to make the king wait. I have half a mind to make your end extra painful for your insolence." The hare, putting on his most terrified and breathless act, bowed low. "Oh, mighty king, forgive my tardiness. I beg you, hear my story before you pass judgment. It was not my fault, I assure you." The lion, slightly intrigued by the hare's panicked plea, stopped his pacing. "A story? This had better be good. Speak quickly before my patience runs out entirely. Catching his breath, the hare began his fabricated tale. Your Majesty, I was on my way here, hurrying as fast as my little legs could carry me. But I was stopped, ambushed by another lion, a huge, arrogant lion who claimed that he was the true king of this savannah. The lion's ears perked up. His pride was instantly wounded. Another king, he growled, a dangerous edge to his voice. Impossible. I am the one and only king. Where is this impostor? That's what I told him, Your Majesty, the hare exclaimed, his voice filled with fake indignation. I told him you were the mightiest of all, but he just laughed. He said you were a coward and that he had taken me as his tribute for the day. I had to plead with him, telling him what a great honor it was to be your meal, and only then did he let me go on the condition that I deliver his challenge to you. The king's fur bristled with rage. His ego, bigger than any animal on the savannah, was completely bruised. A challenge? To me. This cannot be tolerated. My authority is absolute. Take me to this disrespectful pretender at once. I will teach him the meaning of true power. I will tear him limb from limb. The hare could barely contain his glee, but he maintained his serious and frightened expression. Of course, Your Majesty, he is very strong and fierce, but I know you will defeat him. Follow me, I will lead you right to him. With the furious lion trailing close behind, the clever hare hopped and scurried across the savannah. He didn't lead him to another part of the forest or a different cave. Instead, he led the king to an old, deep well in the middle of a clearing. The well was filled to the brim with clear, still water. He's down there, Your Majesty, the hare whispered, pointing a paw toward the dark opening of the well. He's hiding in his den. Be careful, he is very arrogant. The lion, blinded by his fury, stomped to the edge of the well and peered down into the darkness. In the still water below, he saw a reflection. He saw a powerful, angry-looking lion staring right back at him. It was, of course, his own reflection, but in his rage he didn't realize it. He saw what the hare wanted him to see, a rival. So, there you are. The lion roared down into the well. His roar echoed back up, sounding like a challenge from the other lion. He snarled, and the lion in the water snarled back. He shook his magnificent mane, and the reflection did the same. This was the ultimate insult. Convinced that he was facing a defiant challenger, the king of the beasts forgot all reason. He gathered all his strength, took a mighty leap, and plunged headfirst into the well to attack his enemy. There was a tremendous splash. The well was deep, and its stone sides were slippery and steep. The great lion thrashed and struggled, but he couldn't climb out. His roars of fury turned into cries for help, but there was no one to save him. The king, defeated not by strength but by his own pride and a small hare's cleverness, met his end at the bottom of the well. The hare watched for a moment to be sure his plan had worked. Then he turned and hopped triumphantly back to the other animals. When he arrived, he announced the news. The tyrant is gone. We are free. At first, the animals were in disbelief. How could this tiny hare defeat the mighty lion? But when the lion didn't return that day or the next, they began to celebrate. A great cheer went up across the savannah. The animals thanked the little hare, their unlikely hero who had saved them all. From that day on, the animals lived in peace and freedom, and the hare was respected by everyone, not for his size, but for his incredible intelligence. And so, the story of the hare and the lion teaches us a powerful lesson that is still shared today. Brains can be more powerful than brawn. Cleverness, courage, and quick thinking can overcome even the greatest and most intimidating challenges. It reminds us that no matter how small or seemingly powerless you feel, your mind is your greatest weapon. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into African folklore. If you enjoyed this story, please hit that like button. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you won't miss our next adventure into the world's greatest tales. Until next time, stay curious.